Well, Robert Fripp had been playing support to Porcupine Tree for, I don't know, maybe 30, 40, 50 concerts he made with us. 2006, 2007, and so he got to see the band every night.
Okay.
So it was quite regular for us to play and see Robert Fripp in the wings. So when he decided to put back King Crimson in 2008, he invited me to be one of the drummers alongside Pat Mastalotto.
So there was two drummers at that time?
There was two drummers at that time.
So when he approached you, you guys were already familiar with each other?
Oh yeah, I mean we'd spent 6-7 weeks on tour together. I find it terrifying at all. You know, Robert, he's an interesting guy. He asked me to, you know, play the way I wanted to play. He said, play whatever you want, right? But don't play anything mundane. Don't play anything normal or mundane. That's not acceptable. But you can play anything, and I mean anything you want. And the more crazy you go, the more he likes it.
The more he likes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't find it terrifying. I found it really, actually quite inspiring. Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, players that are available, players that are willing to rehearse so much. You know, for the tour that I did with 05 Rick, they did 75 rehearsals over 13 months. Now the material is really, really hard. At least as difficult as King Crimson. And you know, we needed to spend a lot of time trying to play these songs because we'd never tried to play live before. And me and Rick had written the record. We never considered we would ever play it live. But after 3 albums, we said, maybe we should try to play this live. And I said, I think it's too difficult. And he said, no, I have 2 guys, 2 friends of mine, they're really good. So he started to rehearse with a bass player, Tiago Coimbra from Brazil, and a guy from Cambridge called Justin Dwyer, a guitarist. And then they came to my house with my studio, and we rehearsed, I don't know, maybe 20 times. Yeah, usually the songs start with a rhythmic idea from the drums. I always try to find something very unusual. I don't want to make an album that has, you know, normal stuff on it. I do lots of bands where we play straight grooves, and I like playing straight grooves. But I wanted to see if I can create some original beats. You know, I like playing straight grooves, R&B grooves, and it's everything I always wanted, except it's not original.
After a while, do you get bored doing these kind of things?
Go on.
Do you get bored?
No, I don't get bored at all. I love playing just straight 2 and 4 and trying to make it feel good. It's everything I always wanted. Doot, dat, boom, boom, ba. But I didn't think of that beat, right? It's not my beat.
Okay.
So, what I try to do with 05 Rick is come up with grooves that I like, but I've never heard someone play before. And that's a hard challenge. So then I send those ideas. I record myself playing these ideas. I play a little bit of bass, I play a little bit of guitar, and I send these ideas to Rick. And he turns them into songs.
Okay, cool.
Well, pretty much like I just said. I start with a drum beat that I think has some interest. It doesn't sound like something else. Then, yeah, I have an idea about, you know, this could be a section that's a verse maybe, or maybe this is a bridge, or maybe this is a chorus. But Rick is a better songsmith than I am. You know, so Steve Wilson. So it's better, if they're going to sing, they're the ones who need to write the melody. They're the ones who need to say, okay, there needs to be 18 bars, and then there needs to be 9 bars of this, because the lyrics go like this, and the melody goes like this. So I go back and forwards. When I write a song with someone, we pass the files back and forwards on the internet. Yeah, absolutely. Because everyone has a studio at home, and I have a big studio at home with all the drums set up. So if someone sends me a song, I can be in record in 1 second. Everything's ready to go. You know, I just sit down, I put the headphones on, press record, and I start to play.
Okay. So that
well, more than you know, Frank Zappa once said that most people, if you compared rhythm to mathematics, most people don't go past plus, minus, you know, divide and multiply. They keep it very simple. 4, 4, a little bit here, a little bit there. But there's a whole world of rhythm beyond, you know, 4, 4 pop music. And the more you explore, the more you find there's interesting ideas. You know, the drums don't always have to be playing, you know, a sort of beat that holds a song together. Sometimes the bass can do that. And you can play the drums like you're playing a piano or a marimba or a saxophone, you know, and think differently about the drums. Because the drums, people just think you hold a beat, boom, tap, boom, tap, fill, boom, tap, you know, this kind of little square thing. But really the drums are a very musical instrument, and you can, if you just change your mentality, you can come up with quite creative, inspiring ideas on the drums without thinking like, oh, okay, the drums do the beat and everyone goes on top of the beat.
Yep, okay.
Well, the most important thing is determination. If you're determined, really determined, you will make it. More than being talented. Because I meet kids who are, let's say, naturally talented, and they can play a few things quite quickly. But they get lazy and they don't bother to get any better. And then you find a guy who maybe isn't so naturally talented, but he's determined, and he will go a lot further. Determination is the thing that would make you practice for 8 hours a day. Talent won't make you practice 8 hours a day.
Do you practice that long already?
I have done. What do I practice? I mean, now I don't really practice technique things. I practice coordination things, and I practice ideas and concepts. You know, my favourite question is, what if? Okay, so what if I can play in 7 and I can play in 5 at the same time? Does it sound good? Is it musical? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. That might take me a couple of hours to work out some patterns which are 5 and to work out some patterns which are 7 or 3 at the same time. Maybe I might accidentally find something else on the way, and if I like it, then I record it.
All right, then. That'll be all. So can I have some pictures?
Thank you very much.
Can I have some pictures?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. Take a picture first. Okay.
Is this still recording?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. So you get